Hi, students, and we are back today to check out the application requirements for the KEI programs. So, from our homepage, keiabroad.org, click on Programs Abroad and down to Apply Now. This will load a web page which tells you about the application deadlines and application requirements. So let's start with application requirements. We use an online application process. You'll need to create an account, and the first few things that account will ask you for is personal information. Things like name, date of birth, address, phone number, email, the basics. We will also ask you questions about your status at a college or university. What year of school are you? What's your major? Do you have a minor? What is your GPA? So, one of the first application requirements is the GPA. 2.5 is required for most KEI programs. We do have some exceptions. Our program in Japan requires a 2.8 and at least 2 completed semesters at your current institution before the application deadline. A GPA of 2.8 is required for the program in Scotland, especially for students who take mathematics or science classes. If you have a GPA below 2.5, you still may be considered on an individual basis. KEI has advisors on standby waiting to talk with you about your specific circumstances and whether or not we feel that you would be able to gain acceptance to a program. The second piece is a personal statement. This is your basic essay talking about your academic and professional goals and how studying abroad in the particular location that you are applying to would help you in achieving those goals. The third requirement is a letter of reference. Now, we try to make this easy for both you, the student, and whoever is writing the reference. This means that we'll take a reference letter from most anyone in your life who's had a significant influence on you. We could also take a reference letter that was made for something else you've done. Maybe you've needed a reference letter for an internship application, a scholarship application. We take that rather than requiring you to have an entirely new letter of reference. Now, there are some exceptions for this as well. Some programs have a very specific letter of reference policy. If you are applying to one of those, you would see that additional requirement as you fill out the online application. Passport-sized photos. This is the next requirement. Some countries require extremely specific sizes of photos, and we have a convenient passport photo guidelines here. Again, in the online application for your program location, it would specifically designate what you need to do in order to have the correct passport-sized photos. The application fee is non-refundable. The fee is $100. If you pay the $100 application fee and enroll in the program prior to your enrollment deadline, then that application fee of $100 will be applied towards the cost of your program. If you enroll after the deadline, the $100 fee is charged as an administrative fee. This is an incentive for students to complete your process early. We do accept late applications depending on the individual program. We make those announcements on the application deadlines page, which we will check out later. But the additional late application fee is a non-refundable processing fee of $150. If at any point you have questions about the application fee, or if you would like program questions answered prior to submitting your application fee, please reach out to us. Passport information. We will need the information on the face page of your passport. It's the one with your picture. If you don't yet have a passport, we absolutely recommend applying as soon as possible. Due to the current COVID-19 situation, passport processing agencies within the US are very delayed, so it will take longer than normal to receive a new passport. Therefore, we recommend that you apply as soon as possible. Advising session. This is what makes KEI a little bit unique from some of the other program providers you may be aware of. We take the time to have a one-on-one phone call with each and every applicant to our programs. They are informal. It's a fantastic opportunity for our program manager to get to know you, what your interests are, if you have any particular needs. It's also a chance for you to ask questions, to feel comfortable with us as an organization, to address any concerns that you, parents, guardians, relatives may have when it comes to studying abroad. These calls tend to last about 30 minutes or less. And after this call, we will finalize your acceptance or rejection to the program. In order to have an advising session, you must submit your personal statement, your transcript from your college or university, and your letter of reference. These things will be discussed with you during the advising session. This also helps our program manager to get a much better idea of whether this program is a good fit for you. If you're interested in a professional experience, you'll need to submit a separate internship statement and resume. Again, this is described during the online application process, and you're given examples as well. If you're interested in applying for the KEI travel grant, you must submit a separate essay. Again, there's more information about this in the online application process if you wish to contribute and apply for this grant. For minors, anyone under the age of 18, you will have to complete separate waivers for our application process, as well as much later in the enrollment process when you begin to apply for visas or travel permissions to the country in which you want to study. The next page we'll look at is application deadlines. And this page explains the dates that applications are due for each program. We have a couple of different sessions that are described here. We use calendar year and designate the country we're talking about and the specific sessions that are included in this terminology. And in the last column, you see the application deadline. So for most programs, our application deadline is for fall, either in February, March, or April. For spring programs, it's either in September, October, or November. Please make sure that you understand the deadlines for the program that you are interested in. In some circumstances, as I've mentioned before, we can take late applications, but it does become a bit more difficult if the country that you want to attend a program in has very strict procedures for visa or for enrolling at the institution abroad. This means that you have a very, very tight deadline, and we don't recommend that. Now, if you go to Programs Abroad and click on the Prices and Dates page, this will again list all the KEI programs. It will give a rough estimate of the dates of the semester, the price of the program, and the application status. So you can click Apply Now, and that takes you to the online application portal. If you would like to review what's included in the KEI program fee, that information is listed in this box on the right. And again, if you have questions about any aspects of a KEI program, we encourage you to reach out. Our advisors are available by phone and by email for any questions that you may have. So thank you for checking out our application requirements and deadlines. And in our next video, we'll talk more specifically about different aspects of KEI programs.